Joining us now is Amanda. She's a mom who actually formed a pod with Tia's help. Amanda, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, Amanda, why did you decide to form a learning pod in your situation?
So I started hearing about pods forming late in the summer and about people hiring teachers. And I went to my neighbors and I said, how are we all going to do this? I have 4 young kids. My neighbors are full-time doctors, and my other neighbors have 3 school-age children, all in different schools. And that's about when I came across Tia's Facebook post about her pods, and I brought it to my neighbors, and we talked about it more concretely. And we said, is this something we should do? And I said I could host it in my basement and what hours work. And we kind of came together as a neighborhood community to help each other with the pod.
Are you worried about COVID, though?
Yes and no. Everyone's worried about COVID to a certain extent. But with that being said, in Connecticut, our numbers right now are relatively low. And our public school system is hybrid for now with the intent of going back full time next month. And I'm personally comfortable with that. So as far as having the pod in my basement, I also feel comfortable with that. These 3 families and the kids have essentially been quarantining kind of in a pod together since mid-August, and they all kind of run around and play outside. And as parents, we're fully transparent with each other. For example, one kid had a fever at the end of the summer, and we got an immediate text from their parents saying, this kid has a fever, we're taking her to the doctor, she's going to be COVID tested, and we'll keep you updated. And thankfully, she was negative, but we let each other know about sniffles and everything.
That's great. And Tia, do you find that parents are pretty vigilant about making sure that there's transparency around COVID-related potential?
Yes, absolutely. So we do have an app that we use so the families are able to communicate together. So at the end of each pod session, we communicate, and we also communicate prior to the pod what's going on in each family's home.
Awesome. And Amanda, how are your kids doing?
They love it. After the first couple days, my 2nd grader said, Mom, you're great at organizing and decorating, but the pod teacher is much better at teaching me. Believe me, I totally agree. And so overall, it's been a really positive experience. There have been a lot less tears than in the spring, and everyone just seems a lot happier.
Well, Tia and Amanda, thanks for joining us today. Listen, everyone's trying to figure this out, and there is no one solution for everyone. There's no best solution. It's kind of what works best for you in that environment. So thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.